So, okay, what's the benefits though, Dave? That's the technology, what are the benefits? And I think you heard from a number of people, there are definitely cost savings. We estimate just in some of the cost savings alone, at least from an operational point of view, a greater than 40% cost saving if you move from on-premise to the cloud. And it's mainly because you no longer have to invest in hardware and some of the licenses, or even the redundancy, the built-in failover, etc. Because Microsoft has that built in into the data centers. It's off-balance sheet, OPEX and CAPEX to OPEX migration, and therefore you get a very happy financial director. It makes your cost more predictable. So if you want to add users, you literally add users one by one. And you can scale up and out. If you buy a company, you can quickly add users and integrate them into your directory very quickly in case they're not using some common messaging platforms. And it's priced very simply. I'm going to give you the pricing a bit later because it's quite a major focus in terms of saving costs. From a process point of view, one of the things we've delivered is an SLA, which you can freely view online. The SLA basically says we will deliver a 99.9% service availability. If the service goes down for any less than 99.9%, Microsoft will start paying you back money for that previous subscription that you depending on how many users you have. So it's financially backed. It's basically putting the money where our mouth is in terms of delivering a service that is predictable. We've invested in these data centers. Microsoft, as you'd imagine, is probably the most audited company in the world. That includes our data centers, so we comply with all the laws, regulations, privacies, etc., and also the security. We have over 9 levels of security, from hardware through to the applications and even the end users for training, etc. Technology is definitely a benefit. You can have faster deployments. How often is it that you have users saying, I'm using my PC at home with the latest software, why can't I have that at work? Quite often there's a lot of pressure on IT to deliver the latest. But now you can let Microsoft manage that transition, those upgrades, and it's all built into the price of the software. So we're giving you value in terms of maintaining that service level. So when Exchange 2010 launches later this month, we'll build that into our plan for delivering it online. And you'll get the benefits of that at no additional charge. And as I said, it's mobility. Anywhere access. So this is, again, another key thing that customers are saying. They do want access from any device, from anywhere. People are also big ones. So IT sometimes get worried about putting things in the cloud. It sort of potentially impacts jobs. But what we're finding is these jobs, rather than focusing on running email as a utility, why not outsource that as a utility, but then redeploy those staff to more high-value items. Maybe it's deploying ERP or CRM application that gives real return on investment. So we see this as a more of a way of redeploying critical business skills within IT. And it also helps manage some of the cost reductions in the workforce. I mentioned acquisitions and mergers. This is a great way to derive a quick IT deployment when you acquire or merge with other companies as well. Now, don't just take my word for this. As I said, we have over 1 million customers globally using the service today. I pulled out a few. If you go right to left, we'll hear from GSK, who's in a video in a second. Achievers are a photo memory retailer. So basically, you walk into Achievers in the US and you take your SD card in, and they'll print it for you, etc. They have over 45 locations across 200 users. So they're a small, medium-sized business. They deployed the whole online suite in less than a weekend to those 45 retail outlets. So you can imagine how quick that is and return is a lot quicker. Ingersoll Rand is another, I'd say, reasonably large company with 19,000 employees. They're an industrial company. I was reading the press, we have a copy of the press of the case study. Their email solution was based on Lotus Notes. Unfortunately, it was going down more often than it was up. But they basically wanted a more reliable platform. So they chose to deploy Exchange, but in Exchange Online, in terms of getting the benefits of scale and migrating those users relatively quickly across an 12-month period. And they said it's paid for itself pretty much within 18 months. Now, GlaxoSmithKline Beecham is one of our largest think this is the most highly regulated industry, one of the most highly regulated industries. So risk averse is probably these guys. But they deployed, again, from Notes to Microsoft Online with Exchange, and they reduced their operational costs by as much as 30%. Now, rather than me talking about it, I've got a little video here which I want to give you a quick sneak preview.
Bill, I want to thank you for joining me today and talking about